Welcome to High Ground. My name is Tanner, and in this video, we are going to be talking about another roster change. This one was announced yesterday as I was working on the previous video, the video about Skies, and it is Drip being benched by Beast Coast. So I guess he's not explicitly dropped. I guess in a technical sense, he could even come back to the roster, although, of course, that's not going to happen. And, maybe there's something there with him becoming just a content creator for Beast Coast, but I also don't imagine that's the case. So I was browsing through Reddit and I saw a little bit of context. I guess let me scroll down. You guys can see the full picture, but you get the idea. Thank you, Drip. So right, I guess the case was that Drip offered Beast Coast or his team, his team being Beast Coast, but I don't know who he offered it to, the org or the team or whatever, an ultimatum to drop either him or I guess it didn't explicitly say Anthony, but it said another player on the team, and all signs point to that being Anthony. And okay, so right, this is pretty speculative. I guess I don't know for certain what on Reddit is actually factual, but it seems like it is the case, right? And so I guess he thought it would work out for him, and it did not. They decided to go with Anthony instead. And maybe in an objective sense, Drip might be the right choice. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying he could be. I don't, I can't really make that call. But again, in an objective sense, maybe he's the right choice. But when one person, when it's kind of a close call, and well, statistically speaking, they were quite close, even though, you probably argue that Drip's stats being the same as Anthony's on the roles that Drip plays are probably better. But anyways, when they're performing sort of similarly, when it's sort of a close call and then one player is the one making the ultimatum, I think you sort of tend to go with the other one. I don't know how the friendships are within the team, how the relationships. I think Drip said that he's cool with everybody on the team even after this. And in some cases that is something that people just say, and it could very well be the truth. I'll miss seeing Drip play in the NAL, and maybe he'll be back. He did say on his stream, I saw another clip on Reddit, he was talking about how it is rumored that there will be 12 teams in the NAL next year, not next stage, but next year. So we'll actually see about that. 12 teams seems a little bit crazy. None of the other leagues have 12 teams. Maybe all of the leagues will be changing up, maybe just NA. I guess there's a meeting that's supposed to be going on relatively soon with, I don't know, Ubisoft or whoever runs the show there. Other than Ubisoft, I suppose it would be them and I don't know what, Face It or something. But whoever it is, they're supposed to have a meeting about deciding what they want to do with the league, and I think mostly if they want to keep it on LAN or not, and also to decide what they want to do with relegation. So both of those, I think in the eyes of the community, feel like obvious choices. Of course it should stay on LAN. Yes, probably the reason they would take it off LAN if they did is for financial reasons. One does wonder why they are playing in a stadium and they don't sell tickets to fans to come watch the NAL. I'm sure lots of people, maybe some people that live in Las Vegas would go, and lots of people, of course, visit Las Vegas, and if they like Siege, they might be willing to go to that. The days are maybe a little bit awkward. The play days are always during the week, and I think usually when people visit Vegas, it's only for a few days, and so it's usually like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but some people might be there for the whole week. They might be there just in the middle of the week for a few days, and they might drop by to watch some games. And so I think the original plan was to sell tickets, right? And they just haven't done it yet, and I don't know what the deal is with that. But anyways, if they never plan to sell tickets, then maybe they will put it back online. And if I'm being quite honest, that's really going to hamper my viewing experience. I really, really like watching them play on LAN. There are maybe even more technical difficulties than playing online, even though that seems super strange, but there are some really long delays. But I think it's all worth it just to see the players yelling at each other, and you get to see them interact mostly after the game. It's a lot of fun. So I really hope they keep it on LAN. And anyways, I guess back to what we were talking about. Now, I guess I also mentioned the relegations. I guess Mirage is really praying for no relegations at this point. And also, CL teams are hoping to keep relegations because that is one of the main reasons lots of players play CL, for the chance to get promoted to Pro League. Okay, now actually back to what we're talking about. Okay, so yeah, talked about 12 teams, and he mentioned how if there are going to be 12 teams, that he hopes one of the new coming orgs, and I guess it's even possible that some number of orgs leave, different orgs come in, whatever. Just, I guess, assuming at least 2 orgs will be joining if they are going up to 12 teams. He's hoping that one of the orgs will give him the opportunity to build a roster, and this is something that Drip has done in the past. I think Rent Free, that was... he was definitely a big part of it, even before then. I think, 92 Dream Team, and fairly recently FPL Queens, and then he also sort of helped put together the current Beast Coast roster. And I kind of would have liked to have seen Beast Coast stick with a roster for one more stage. I think they went 4 and 5 both stages, right? So one more loss than win, but they just barely missed out on both majors. The first stage, they were maybe a little bit farther away, But second stage, if they had just beat Astralis or just beat Mirage, then they would be going to the major right now. And so in light of that, it seems a little bit strange to make the move, and maybe if Drip hadn't presented the ultimatum as it's understood that he did, then maybe they would just stick with their 5-man roster for at least one more stage, because again, just sort of right where they are, teetering on the edge of going to the major. I mean, just one more little thing breaks their way and they could have already gone to a major, could go to the next major, but okay. This might work out well for them. We'll see who they actually pick up, but I do think Drip, even though he'd maybe if you spectate him and whatever, he doesn't look like the most impressive player, but I think if you really holistically look at things, he seems to have a pretty big impact, and that is also sort of disregarding any sort of negative impact he could have in the comms. Of course, he could be having a very profound positive effect, but okay, that remains to be seen. That is to say that his stats were kind of poor, but again, playing the roles he played, and I think also making some of the plays that he made seemed to really invigorate or work out for Beast Coast in a lot of the rounds, not every round, but again, they were a new team. Maybe given more time, they could have really prospered. And okay, so I guess that pretty much does it for this one. I am, I guess, waiting for a couple more roster moves. On the previous video, people commented a lot of things about they thought maybe Skies would be going to Beast Coast to replace Drip. Maybe Skies go to TSM. And again, Skies did say that he doesn't plan to keep playing, but we'll actually see. And then Chala has not actually been dropped, but it's heavily speculated that he will be dropped. And so maybe he'll go to SSG. He played on SSG a long time ago. Some people also think thinking he returns to SSG. I think it's pretty unlikely they pick up a player that they've already had. Also, a bunch of people actually were saying in the comments that they think what SSG does need is an entry player, i.e. Asian or Dexter or whoever else, and that was a little bit contrary to what I was saying, but it's entirely possible it would work out. Maybe SSG does need a much more drastic restructuring compared to the team that they used to be successful in modern times and in the current meta. And okay, so before I go off too far away from the subject of the video, oh no, there is one more thing though. I did forget about this. So if you're interested in playing for a pro team, if you want to at least try out, they did post this. I think maybe other members of the team also posted this, but here's Sweater posting it, and he says, think you're good enough to play for Beast Coast, fill out this form, and if we see something we like, you will get a DM later on. Retweets, please. Okay, so yeah, they are doing sort of open tryouts. I think DZ did this before, and I think that was the one that resulted in Panbazoo, which has worked out quite well for them. So I'm happy to see sort of this openness in the community, and because sometimes it can be a bit closed off and whatever. So I guess, navigate your way here to Sweater on Twitter, and you can click on this and you can go to the doc and you can fill out to try out for the team, and maybe you'll make it. I guess it's worth a shot. Okay, yeah, now the video is definitely rambling on. So all right, like, comment, subscribe, all of that would be appreciated. And all right, with all of that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.